On guys, good morning, good morning. Just getting all set up on my end over here. Okay. Guys, good. Oh, gotta stop that. There we go. Blah blah blah. Yeah, today's live stream should be a little interesting. Let me get back to where I'm going. Yeah, today's live stream should be a little fun. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't really have any specific topic, to be honest, to talk about, but I am going to be just showing you guys what I'm reading. A little bit of DeepSeek stuff from yesterday's stream, kind of what's been going on in the last, probably 10 or 12 hours, and then we'll move on to some other stuff. So we will see. Let's get this stream started. All right, so let's get it started. Okay, so this is what I'm reading today. Again, this is going to be some of the stuff on DeepSeek and how it was, just affecting the market over the last, day or so, and then we'll just wrap it up and then talk a little bit about a couple other things here that strike me as interesting, especially as we start to move into 2025. And the pandemic era, stuff is pretty much at a close. Like everything that we used to do is pretty much coming to a close. So I really think that these next couple of months is going to shape out to be a little different. Let's learn English. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. All right, so let's get it going. So this is just something we're closing up on. So Steve Cohen says DeepSeek's disruption. He's bullish for the AI, or it's bullish for the AI landscape. And basically, Point72's asset management founder Stephen Cohen, who sees the emergence of Chinese startup DeepSeek's artificial intelligence technology as beneficial to the industry, according to media reports on Tuesday. In our view, is that what happened with DeepSeek is actually bullish because it advances the move to artificial intelligence. Cohen said at Miami at the iConnections Global Alts conference, there will be new companies that will use these tools and we'll start hearing about. So, I mean, absolutely true, 100%. Hey, good morning, Sita. But yeah, absolutely true, 100%. That as we move on into this, new AI age, because we're moving on. So we had the industrial age, right? Then we had the information age, and now we're moving into like the information age 2.0 or Web 3.0, right? We're moving into this new age, and there's, we talked about this yesterday too on yesterday's stream, that there's going to be new AI segments. There's going to be specializations. There's going to be new companies that are coming out. This is going to drive innovation, and not only that, it's driving competition, right? We see that now. So we see from a U.S. perspective that basically a foreign rival, China, has their own AI, and it basically hammered our U.S. stock market. It rattled a lot of investors, and so I really think that this is a good thing. That AI, again, is going to continue to be more prominent. You see it in the biomedical field. You see it in financial institutions. You see it in government. You see it all over daily life. You can use it for setting up a gym schedule, all the way to making a nutrition plan for you, right? Like you can use AI for everyday life, and it's only going to get better. You can use it for making images. Instead of buying stock images, you use AI for making, images yourself. And people are already using it for outsourcing, or people have been using it for outsourcing, a lot of talent. And then like I said, it's only going to get better. And I'm sure you guys already know that as well. So let's see what else we got here. So what did we learn from the DeepSeek scare? And there was a line in here, if I could find it. Today's rally after the DeepSeek-led technology sell-off yesterday indicates that the worst-case scenario that was feared by investors yesterday might not come to fruition. The ultimate answer to these questions will begin to come into focus with Microsoft and Meta announcing earnings after close tomorrow, and Apple on Thursday evening. So again, it was a scare yesterday, and pretty much it's Wednesday my time. So yeah, Tuesday in the US and Monday in the US. Yeah, basically it was a scare. I mean, we can look at like Nvidia and we can look at some of the major tech companies and they've already recovered. They're already back to, normal. Investors found that as an opportunity to buy. They bought the dip. So, I mean, ops are normal, operations back to normal, nothing really changed. I saw a comment that this was nothing. This was just a blip, right? This was a buying opportunity for a lot of people. So that's good. Basically, we got back to normal, right? Got back to normal. But what was interesting was that DeepSeek was hit. There was an article that came out from CNBC that DeepSeek was hit with a large-scale cyber attack and says it's limiting registrations. So DeepSeek on Monday said it would temporarily limit user registrations due to large-scale malicious attacks on its services. The Chinese AI startup recently toppled OpenAI's ChatGPT from its title of the most downloaded free app in the Apple's App Store. DeepSeek on Monday said it would temporarily limit user registrations due to its large-scale malicious attacks. I don't think these were malicious attacks at all. It was probably hype from the consumerism. Everyone wanted to try DeepSeek. Everyone's going to deepseek.com. Everyone's registering. Everyone's going on the App Store to register. I really think they probably just, in a technical term, kind of DOSed themselves in a way. A DOS is basically a denial of service, right? It's too many people trying to register at once. And I think they took this as an opportunity to, probably call it a malicious attack. When in reality, I think it was just a lot of people were trying to register at once. Or maybe it was a malicious attack. Maybe it was a malicious attack by some of our bigger tech companies that are trying to, just trying to keep competition a little healthy. So again, competition, it breeds innovation. Competition breeds, fast-paced innovation. Companies who can't keep up end up going the way of the dodo. They end up dying out. They end up getting bought out, or they end up just dissolving. So having an AI from a rival country is good for the market because it's only going to force U.S. companies to continuously innovate and continue staying ahead of the curve. So I could see this as being a good thing, for everybody. So hold on one second. I got to get my coffee in, guys. So that'll do it for at least the DeepSeek stuff. Again, I'm just catching up. I'm just reading up on the news, seeing what's out there. But I did see something interesting, right? So, and it has nothing to do with AI or tech stocks. This is going to veer more on the real estate side. But I remember there was a time ago when this article had come out. Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy call for remote work a COVID era privilege. Economists say it's here to stay. So, this was written some time ago, January 2nd, right? So this isn't, this is obviously kind of dated at this point. This person, Vivek Ramaswamy, he already left to go try to be a governor of some other state. I don't know which state. I think it was Georgia. I could be wrong. But I know he left the DOGE team, the Department of Government Efficiency team with Elon Musk. He departed so he could try to go be a governor. Elon has been a huge proponent for bringing people back to the office, right? Huge proponent. He thinks work from home is making people lazy. It's disrupting, efficiency. It's, all these bad things, basically. All these bad things. There's no good things that come from remote work. So Elon Musk has been a big proponent for bringing people back to the office. He put out, memos in Tesla and all of his companies saying you're coming back to the office. If you don't, you're fired, basically, right? Pretty crazy. So, this article just goes on to say Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, whom President Donald Trump appointed to lead the new, DOGE team, I guess, said they intend to call the federal employees back to the office 5 days a week. Companies such as Amazon and the Washington Post are adopting a similar policy in 2025. But many companies will keep remote or hybrid work arrangements largely because they boost profits, economists say. Some view return to office mandates as a stealthy way to reduce employee headcount. All right, keep this one in mind. So this is sneaky as hell because it is true. there are a lot of people, and I'm speaking anecdotally, of course, meaning that it's just from my own experience, things I've heard or things that even I've seen, that people are willing to leave their job just so they could stay home, right? Just so they could find more remote work and things like that, right? The whole great resignation turned into like the great, regret. And, now we're moving into a period of time where it's getting harder and harder to find work, right? It's getting harder to find a job. So let's just see how this all plays out. But essentially, there was an article that came out today, I think. Yeah, January 28th, U.S. time. Trump administration offering buyouts to nearly all federal workers. Okay. The Trump administration is offering millions of federal workers the option to accept buyouts from a government-wide deferred resignation program. The offer comes as President Donald Trump's administration pushes federal employees to return to the office 5 days a week. The White House expects up to 10% of the federal employees to take the buyout. This right here is interesting, right? Because one, he's making good on his promise to basically bring the deficit down, and the government is overbloated with federal employees. All right, it's true. It's just a fact. The Trump administration is offering millions of federal workers the option to accept buyouts through a government-wide deferred resignation program if they resign by February 6th, right? And they're basically going to get paid for up to 8 months, right? But isn't this funny that some view return to office mandates as a stealthy way to reduce employee headcount, right? And there's no shortage of these. There's no shortage of these stories happening right now with major companies, Fortune 500 companies in the S&P 500. There's no shortage of this. And people are accepting the buyout. They'd rather leave and go work, find some remote work so they don't have to go back to the office. People are willing to do that, but it helps the company, as a stealthy way of saying, good, we're able to cut these people. We didn't have to fire them. We didn't have to do any type of, what do they call it? Where they continuously pay you. It's in here somewhere. Yeah, it's in here somewhere. I don't know. Basically, I can't believe I don't remember that word. Yeah, my brain is full today. Sorry. Anyways, but yeah, it's a stealthy way for companies to basically just, trim the fat, cut the fat, get rid of a couple of people who are probably not as efficient, and then they have to pay them to get them out of there, right? So this is a stealthy way of doing it. What's up, G bro? Hey, welcome back. All right. So yeah, no topic for today, brother. Just we're just shooting the shit and chatting, and I'm waking up having my coffee. All right. So this article led me kind of down a rabbit hole because I was curious, right? You guys know that I invest a lot of money into real estate, into REITs. So I always have said that office REITs were kind of the things I would never touch. Same thing with malls, right? Malls and office REITs. Because office REITs just have such, they've been battered down for a very long time. With the whole hybrid work, remote work, all that stuff, people just are not going to the office, and you have these large office buildings that are almost vacant, right? Now they're still being leased. They're still, making some money. But again, there was a huge back in 2021 into 2022. And then as early as 2020, early 2023, there was all this talk about taking these office buildings and converting them into apartments, right? Converting them into condos, converting them into living spaces to help with the housing shortage that, is abundant in a lot of these cities, right? It's a problem in a lot of these cities. So that was the idea for a lot of these big offices, was to turn them into apartment buildings. But I was curious, now that large companies, Fortune 500 companies, you have the federal government doing it. You have all these businesses basically forcing their employees to come back to the office. What does that do for office REITs, and what does that do for office real estate? So just real quick, 9 trends that will shape work in 2025 and beyond. And again, this was written not too long ago. This is from the Harvard Business Review. Let's see, there was something in here, and I probably forgot it already. Or maybe this is the article I was just reading. Well, yeah, organizations will restructure to take advantage of AI and other technological innovations. So we already know that, right? Because everyone's always talking about AI. There's no company that is not including AI in their spiel, in their mission statement or something at this point. Companies will adopt a nudge tech to bridge widening collaboration gaps. So let's see, critical, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. No. Well, here's another blurb about AI, right? Organizations will wrestle with how to retain high performers in the age of AI. Man, where? Yeah, there was something in here. Maybe not. Maybe I didn't even read this article, to be honest. I think this was the one I was thinking about. Nearly half of workers will consider a job change if ordered back to the office, right? From that the survey found. And this was written January 17th, 2025. Okay. So again, workers will still leave their job to find remote work. They're going to leave their jobs to find remote work. And as more companies mandate a full return to office, many hybrid and remote employees in the United States are prepared to look for a new job to continue working from home, according to a new survey by the Pew Research Center. Nearly half, 40%, 46% of workers said they would consider leaving their job rather than return to full-time in-office work if their current employers were to eliminate work-from-home options. To be honest, I would too. I would 100% do this. You know, I've worked in an office for long enough, okay? And this is my office. Like, what you see around me is my office. I got a pretty nice setup, of course. I wish I could show you guys, but I'll ruin the camera setup and everything. But I do have a nice setup. It is comfortable. I will say that there are some drawbacks, of course, right? You get an afternoon nap in or something, you know. But yeah, I would definitely leave an office environment to go work remote if I could, if that option was available to me. But I don't think, at least for my particular circumstance, that's something I can do, at least not right now. Maybe in the future. But I like this whole work from home idea. But of course, companies, they want to bring their employees back. They want to increase efficiency, collaboration. They want to, the whole technical jargon stuff, increase efficiencies, let's shift some paradigms, all that other garbage. Currently, 75% of the respondents have flexible work arrangements, either working fully from home or adopting a hybrid model that includes some remote work days. I could get behind this too. If I showed up to the office 3 days out of the week, but I could work from home 2 days out of the week, I would be super happy with that. Let me know in the chat. Are you working from home? Or are you working, hybrid? Or are you working, in the office? Let me know. And then let me know if you would actually take an offer like this. Would you work 2 days out of the week, or would you work 5 days out of the week from home or hybrid? Yeah, so basically this article is going over that people would rather work from home than go back to the office. So again, this just raised an eyebrow, right? I'm like, I wonder how the office sector is doing for real estate. I wonder what's going on over there. So let's take a look. So Sita says, I invested into office space REITs in the past during COVID times. I thought I could cash a dip. Didn't turn out so well. Yeah, you bought the dip and then it just kept on dipping. Yeah, no, I know that feeling. I totally know that feeling. I totally get it. I almost bought into Boston Properties, ticker BXP, but I'm so glad I did it because it looked like a great opportunity. I mean, the dividend was really attractive and all that stuff, but I was like, I'm going to hold off a little while. G-Bro says, I'm working on site, but would love to work at home. Man, hell yeah. But anyways, so I was curious, how's the office REIT sector doing, right? This is from NAREIT, the National Association of Real Estate Investment Trusts. This is a investment performance by property sector and subsector, okay? So, and I just want to put this out there, again, when you read articles, clickbait articles that say, or even YouTube videos that say the real estate market is crashing, I just want you to keep in mind, look how many freaking subsectors are in real estate, okay? Specialty, gaming, data centers, telecom, timberland, self-storage, healthcare, lodging, resorts, diversified, single-family, manufactured homes, apartments, freestanding regional malls, et cetera, right? There's so many subsectors. So to just blanket it all as real estate is crashing is just super disingenuous. It's garbage, right? Because there's so many damn sectors in real estate. So anyways, I digress. All right. Investment performance by property sector and subsector. Let's look at office, because office is actually starting to surprise me. They performed in 2024. They performed better than most other sectors in real estate. Sorry. They performed better than most other sectors in real estate. And that goes even for apartment buildings. You know, they had just a small outperformance, but outperformance nonetheless. Now, apartment buildings, you know, especially in condensed, you know, areas, everyone's building, you know, apartment complexes to help with the housing shortage and things like that. But office actually outperformed that. That's ridiculous. That is so crazy to me in 2024 that office REITs actually outperformed, right? And for the sector, across 17 constituents, 17 holdings, 17 office REITs, they had a average dividend yield of 4.54%. So that is not too bad. That is, you know, it's not, I mean, it's not yield max 100% distribution rates, but, you know, 4.54% is not bad either. You know, so again, this is just really interesting. It looked like office had a comeback, right? It's coming back. So only time will tell. You know, this year I think is going to be the year where a lot of Fortune 500 companies, the big companies, start to force their employees to come back to work, or they do the stealthy stuff. They say, hey, we're mandating all employees come back to work, or you take a buyout option. And honestly, I think I wouldn't be surprised if a couple lawsuits come from this, you know, some major headline lawsuits come from this, because I could see something like that happening. You know, Apple, they built that big effing campus out in, was it California? I think it was California. They built it. It looks like a UFO or whatever, but they built this massive campus, and for a while it was primarily empty, primarily empty. You know, if I was the CEO of Apple, I know you want to be progressive. You want to, you know, do what's right for all the employees. And, you know, the employees are very smart people, you know, very intelligent, technology focused individuals. But man, I would be so upset if I just built this really nice campus that has daycare, has restaurants, has sleeping pods, it's basically one massive mall. You know, I would be so upset that I spent all this money and now no one wants to come to work, right? I would be so pissed. Anyways, let's see. Far Out Aliens. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. Business people carry on. Damn right. You can't run a business out of your home very long. Very true. Unless you're an entrepreneur, you know, unless you're like an entrepreneur, you know, you're running maybe like a you know, a couple like I won't call them side hustles, but, you know, businesses, you know, remote, like e-commerce type of businesses, you know, I could see that. But yeah, if you're like in the Fortune 500, like you're going to want your people to come back to work. So anyways, getting back to this office REIT stuff or office real estate stuff, right? Huge outperformance in 2024. So I started to just dig around. I was just curious how this is all really performing, right? And if we look December, let's see, January. All right, we'll do December 29th, right? For Cousins, they had a 24%, you know, year to date share price appreciation. So pretty good, right? Pretty good. Return, not too bad. And I was curious what BXP was doing, because Boston Properties is also a big player in the space as well. They have a market cap of almost $12 billion versus Cousins $5 billion, right? Dividend yield 4.23%. Boston Properties 5.36%. Okay, and again, I'm not saying go out and buy these things at all. All right, don't just start dumping your money because you see this on this stream. I'm just showing you guys what I was curious about. All right, if we look, if we go back, let's say December 29th, you know, all the way up to, let's see, whatever. Yeah, we'll do December 27th. Yeah, they had a 6.33% return. I mean, nothing extravagant. But again, you know, it's just, these are going to probably be your longest term holdings if you believe the thesis that, you know, these major Fortune 500 companies are going to start forcing their employees back to work. You'd have to see which tenants that these properties own. I know Boston Properties owns like Class A office buildings, in very condensed areas. So I would not, right here it says Boston, Los Angeles, New York City, San Francisco, Seattle, and Washington, where all the major companies are, right? All the major like Fortune 500 companies are going to be operating out of. So let's see. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much it of what I was reading today and kind of just catching up on stuff. Again, it's interesting. Everything is interesting. You always want to keep an eye on what's going on. I don't know. I wake up in the morning, I start reading stuff, try to make sense of it all, and I'm not saying I'm going to just change my investment strategy off one thing, off one article, or off one bad piece of news. Like, again, I still use that MSTR video I made as an example, because there's comments in there saying, oh, this is FUD, this is FUD, this is, don't believe the FUD. Like, if you want to be a prudent investor, if you want to be a smart investor, you don't base all your decision making on one article, right? Or on one thing. But what you do is you just keep that as a data point. You just keep it as a data point in your back pocket, just in case, because it is a risk. All right. A risk could be anything. And you just want to always keep that in the back of your mind. But of course, I think these are the same people who probably listen to YouTubers who yellow their money, right? I don't know. You just want to be a prudent investor, and a prudent investor does a lot of risk management. They think of the upside, but they also think of the potential downside. So that is just my only point in all of this. So let's see. Bria, what's up? Hey, welcome. Just for you guys, if you don't know, Bria, she lives out here in Thailand too. She runs her own kind of vlogging YouTube channel about living out here in Southeast Asia. Far Out Alien says, I have no knowledge of those areas. REITs, I mean, real estate is real estate can be one of those things that, you got to have a lot of experience. You got to do, sometimes you got to go through the ringer a few times and have a couple losses, but yeah. I only have experience in Canadian REITs, says Sita. Similar idea. I mean, they're all pretty much like, let's break it down, guys. When you invest in a rental property, right? What are some of the biggest key metrics you care about? Tenant quality, right? Make sure the tenant's going to pay on time, and how much rental income you're making, right? And then whatever debt you own. Like, these are the three biggest metrics, right? That you really care about, or factors or variables, right? Cash on cash return, all that kind of stuff. You can take all that experience and almost deconstruct it with a REIT. Of course, there's there's more complex stuff. There's payout ratios. There's, AFFO, there's FFO, funds from operation, adjusted funds from operation. There's all these other little metrics in there. But really, I mean, when you really, really boil it down, you just care about tenant quality. Are they paying their rent? Is the buildings occupied, right? And how much money are they bringing in to pay out the dividend, right? Like, these are REITs are required, at least in the US, they're required to pay out 90% of their income in the form of a dividend. So, I mean, again, it's not too hard. All right. It's not too hard. It is a little bit of a learning curve. But again, when you read enough, it all just starts to make sense. Far Out Alien. Hey, I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah. I got so much just knowledge just baked into my brain, and I don't even know how to present it all. This is why I don't really, I don't know. Like, I like doing these live streams because it gives me a chance just to kind of like do verbal diarrhea where I'm just like vomiting all the information I have, not to give you a bad picture of it. But yeah, I don't know. I just have so much information about stuff, and it's good to just get it all out and talk with a couple people about all this stuff. So I enjoy it. I enjoy these live streams. But yeah, guys, I don't know. I don't have anything else really. You guys got anything, like, as far as, what's new, what's hot right now? Any crypto coins we could look at? Any stocks we can look at? Any personal finance things you guys want to talk about? Yeah, I have no idea. Like, I'm out of stuff. I thought this was going to be something we could at least, we got up to 30 minutes. I was thinking this was going to be probably like a 45-minute video, or not video, but 45 minutes worth of content. But I guess I must have spoke way too fast. I appreciate you, G bro. Thank you. And thank you for watching and just being here. Um, like awesome. So Bria Bain asks, do you think investing in mobile homes is a good idea, lending them out in the States and other areas with a housing crisis? Um, I like mobile home parks. I want to invest in mobile home parks. Uh, I know that they have probably the highest return profile of most other asset classes, and that's multifamily, that's self storage. Um, but I just never had the chance to invest in mobile home parks. I wish I had the offering memorandums of some of these things. But yeah, lending them out in the States and other areas with the housing crisis. Absolutely. You want to take advantage as an investor, you want to take advantage of opportunities as they arise. If you can do that, if you can, lend out, mobile home parks and rent them out, then I would not see a problem with that. Of course, there's 1,000 variables, what location, where is it at, how much rental income, is there any property, not property tax, but, I know with mobile home parks, you got to pay some type of like fee to the mobile home park management company. What are those fees? You got to bake all that into your underwriting. What's up, Retire on Dividends? Hey, welcome back, man. Yeah, we're just talking about, I'll just summarize real quick for any people that just came in. But yeah, we're just talking about the old DeepSeek stuff, just kind of like wrapping all that up. And then I was talking about how there's a lot of stuff going on with return to office. A lot of stuff, especially with Elon Musk. He's been a big proponent of return to office. And a lot of Fortune 500 companies are going to start doing that. But there was a nice little line in here. Some view return to office mandates as a stealthy way to reduce employee headcount. And then the Trump administration came out and basically said all federal workers are returning to office or they're getting fired, right? Well, not fired, but they're going to take the buyout, right? So they're going to get like, I think 8 months worth of, 8 months worth of like a buyout or something like that. Yeah, it's somewhere in the article. And then, just continuing on that same vein, nearly half of workers will consider a job change if ordered back to the office. So again, I would honestly work from home if I could. If I was working at the office and I had to make a choice, I would definitely do a work from home. I would leave a company for that 100%. I would even be willing to take a pay cut if, again, I don't have a job, so I can't even be talking. I'm out here just, living it up. And then we're just talking about how that translates, because in the office real estate, this is from the NAREIT, the National Association of Real Estate Investment Trusts. And basically offices have been, performing really well in 2024, right? They actually had a pretty decent return. And, we can see that in the reflection of some stocks. I know this looks scary, but if you change the view, it looks a little more favorable. Not so much for BXP. I guess for BXP, but again, I mean, that's not that sexy. But again, this is from the interest rate stuff and the 10-year treasury going up. But, for a while when interest rates were going down, like look at that 60% return, right? Same thing with Cousin. They were on the up and up. So we'll see. All right. So Bria, back to you real quick. I hope that explained that very well, or at least as best as I could. Far Out Aliens, what cryptos do you like or have you looked at? So I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to be 100% transparent with you guys. I have just Bitcoin and I bought some XRP, right? I bought some XRP at some time. I kind of wish I didn't. I'm still holding it. I bought it. I don't even remember when I bought it. But let's look at USD. I know it's up like substantially, but the thing I'm upset about is that I bought it. I think it was like right here, probably. Yeah, like right when all this talk about it spiking came out, somewhere right here. And I know it's doing well, but I hate that I bought it because I bought it on FOMO. It goes against every fiber in my body not to buy on FOMO, but I bought it on FOMO, so that's why I hate it. But I'm gonna hold on to it until I already deleted the app that I bought it on, which was Robinhood. But I already deleted Robinhood off my phone. But yeah, that and Bitcoin, those are the only two. I don't do the meme coins. I don't do the altcoins. I don't do the shit coins. I don't do any of that stuff. I just do like prudent investing. If I wanted to like actually YOLO some cash, maybe I'll take, like a little bit of money and just throw it and sprinkle it around some crypto coins, but not really. I don't really do that stuff. So I hope that addressed that very, very well. Uh, let's see. Yeah, Far Out Alien says running a mobile home park is a lot of labor work. Hell yeah. Sita, let's see. Two cryptos I'm watching right now, XRP and PayPay. Not sure if I should get in or get out. Bria Main says, return to office for what though? Definitely seems like a way to get rid of employees who refuse to return. Absolutely. But, you know, I don't know what the like I haven't really researched into it what the benefit is for these companies. I think it's because they have these huge office buildings that they're leased on for the next 10 years and they need to use the space. That's one. I know that's a very faulty thesis, but another one is I do think that people, I mean, we do all slack off. I'm not gonna lie. Like we all know we slack off at the office. We, you know, ooh, excuse me. You know, we all slack off at the office. You know, or at home. If we're working at home, like we're slacking off even more. You know, when work from home became a thing, a lot of people installed software to just kind of move the mouse around every now and again. Some people were buying like this little fan that would just do this to the mouse, right? So people, you know, on the other end, basically the office manager knew that you were working, right? There's keyloggers now on people's computers where they actually check how many words you're typing per hour, right, to make sure you're engaged at work. Like there's all this extra stuff, and these are all extra, like this is oversight costs, right? Now they have to pay somebody, a manager, just to look at your keyboard, right, just to make sure you're typing stuff into it. And then the Zoom calls and all that stuff, like it, I like face-to-face interactions more than I do, you know, Zoom calls. I'm not going to lie, but, you know, we are living in a digital age. We're living in an age where, you know, video conferencing is just so easy now. But, you know, you do lose some of that human stuff, right? That trust, that credibility, you lose some of that. And not only that, I mean, there are some really fake people who put on like a big mask for Zoom calls, right? Like I've seen it in person. Like it's disgusting. But yeah, I think returning to office, I can see why companies want that. They want more efficiency. They want, you know, more streamlining, all that, you know, all that corporate jargon stuff, you know, they want all of that, you know, so that's why I think they're going to bring a lot of people back to the office. Eugene definitely wants Misty, man. Don't threaten me with a good time. Companies are trying to retire on dividends. Says companies are trying to justify owning all of the property they have by forcing employees to come in more. My company's trying to do that now. Hell yeah, yeah. See, you're telling right there. Sita says I'm trying to convince Eugen to jump in on Misty. Like I said, man, don't threaten me with a good time. No, I'm really I'm waiting. I might jump on it. So I thought this is a really good time now. My patience has paid off. To jump into Misty. I mean, this is really a really good price entry point. But again, I might start a small position. I might wait a little bit. It really depends on a couple things. I just want to see what MicroStrategy is going to be doing, what's going to be happening with Bitcoin. But yeah, you guys are absolutely right. I definitely think I'm going to be jumping in on Misty. Again, not financial advice. Don't just follow my lead just because I'm saying it, guys. All right. Please don't just do that. You guys need to know what this is, what it does, how it works, who are they following. I got a whole stream on this, right? I got a whole video on this. So please, let's see what else we got. Hey, appreciate that, Bria. Yeah, hit that like button, guys, if you like this, if you're liking this stream. Sita says most corporate workers I know will only work for a company that provides a hybrid work schedule. Yeah, that would be me. I'd be one of those guys. I was one. So Bria Main says I was one of those work from home slackers. I used to fall asleep and wake up to move my mouse. I still have PTSD from waking up and thinking my computer went to sleep. See, this is the stuff I'm talking about. You know, and it's just human nature. I mean, it's just human nature. People just slack off. Like when I was working, I could do my whole job in probably like an hour. Like honestly, I can get all my reports done. I can get all my, button clicking done, all my emails done within the first hour of the day. And then it would just be 11 hours of just hanging out, right? You might get a call here. You might get a problem there. You might get two employees fighting here, but other than that, it was pretty chill, all things considered. But I just hated the fact that I was sitting in front of a screen, and I couldn't even be away from my desk for longer than like 10 minutes. Like, that's what I really hated. Yeah, G Bro says I hate corporate and the politics. Oh my god, I can go on it. I should just do a stream about all the politicking that went on when I was working, because there was a lot. And there was, man, it was legit. Like, there you'd have to sit there and just look at it all, and you hear these things in the media, right? You hear these things, you see it on TV, but until you witness it, you're just like, holy shit, I can't believe people are really like this. Like, I cannot believe that there's actual bosses and managers that abuse their powers, like really abuse their power and authority, right? And then you also have on the opposite spectrum, people always trying to get one over you, right? Always trying to get one over you. And then you really have to, like, even further back, take a step even more back, and you're like, you know what? I can see why so many people like the 48 Laws of Power, right? By Robert Greene, the book, right? Or Machiavelli or all these other things. Like, I could see why these books are so popular, because, man, like, human nature is ridiculous. I've learned so much about people just working as a manager than I think I would have ever learned, in my entire life. Like, people are, there's a lot to unpack there. Retire on Dividend says, what do you do for income if you don't work? So that's a great question. So I have investment income. I have a lot of real estate. So I invest in like real estate syndications. I have the dividends coming in from REITs. I also have, rental property that I make money off of. I'm also sitting on a sizable cash position, that's basically helping keep me cushion while I'm out here. So I live out here in Thailand, so cost of living is extremely low. So I'm out here doing this, and then all the while, I'm working on building this YouTube channel, and then building my own like coaching community, right? My own business, my own financial education company. So in the link, and I don't broadcast it enough. I'm not trying to broadcast it now, but in the description is a link to my community. So that is pretty much what I've been focused on, what I'm doing. And if the time comes where, if I run out of money and nothing's panning out, well, whatever, I got to go get a job again, but I'm not worried about it, because there was other reasons why I left, right? Why I wanted to take like a year off, or a year or 2 years off, right? I wanted to get my health back in order, because I was, like I said, sitting in front of a desk for 12 hours a day, looking at screens. My eyes are going bad. I'm hating my life. Like, I'm literally a shell of my former self. I have to put on a mask every single day. And I don't mean a mask, but I mean like a full mask, a whole attitude. I was becoming someone I was not, I couldn't even recognize myself. So I wanted to just get away from all that, reset, try this YouTube stuff out, try this entrepreneur stuff out, see if I can make a dent. And if I can't, I can't. But, so far things are trending in the right direction, as they say in the stock market. So let's see. G-Bro says, I've worked in a factory back in the day. That is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. And then Bria says, let's not forget work-life balance. Going into the office takes commuting and time away from home. That's a fact. All right. That's a huge fact. I think remote workers will miss having more time to themselves. Man, I used to spend, when I worked in Boston, I would spend an hour just getting to work and an hour and a half to 2 hours getting back home because of traffic. Like, that was 3 hours. I went to, I call it Audible University. Like, I would just throw on an Audible book and try to learn something while I'm stuck in the car. But that was still so much time. That's almost 3 hours out of the day that you're stuck in traffic. Like, 3 hours of your life. And then I was doing the multiplication. Like, I don't know. Let's do it right now. So if I spent three hours a day, what was it, 50? All right, let's do times 5, right? Times 5 days a week. And then I worked 52 weeks a year. That's 780 hours of your life right there that you don't get back. That's just spent in a metal coffin, basically, right? Like, that, I hated that. When I did that math, I was so mad at myself. Like, I hated myself. So for a long time, when I went to Iraq when I was in Iraq and Kuwait, like, I walked to work. It was beautiful. I loved it. It was like a 5-minute walk. So you had to be at the office at 7:30, I think, 8 o'clock. You could wake up 15 minutes before being in the office and still make it on time. Like, it was great. Anyways. Retiring Dividend says that's awesome. Congrats on your success. I appreciate it, man. I really do. And I mean, congrats on your success, man. I was looking at a lot of your videos, guys. If you haven't checked out Retiring Dividends, definitely check them out. But yeah, I like your videos, man. Like they're really in depth, really thorough. So I really dig it. Let's see what else. Far Out Alien says, learn how to invest your own money and you won't be scammed. Hell yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. You need to know, and that's the thing. That's the thing. Whoops. Oh. Excuse me. I get excited. I'm all clicking all over the place. But yeah, if you learn how to invest your own money, you don't need a financial advisor, right? That's one. And I'm not saying financial advisors are bad because they come in, they like you use them when you don't know what to do, right? But there are a lot of scammy financial advisors out there, right? And then there's also the YouTubers, the financial influencers, the finfluencers on Instagram and all social medias that just peddle out crap, right? Peddle out absolute bullshit. And I don't care to say this, right? But they peddle it out. And then, their channels blow up. They make a lot of money, but they're scamming their audiences for like tons and tons of money, right? You saw this in 2020 into 2021 with the crypto craze. Everyone was listening to, like, you could not go on YouTube without hitting a crypto video. You could be learning about cooking food and these people would be talking about crypto they're buying. Like, it was ridiculous. It was so disgusting. And people are falling for this stuff. And there was so much, when we talk about wealth transfer, yeah, the rich got richer, the smarter got richer, right? Meanwhile, the poor got poorer because they're listening. They had bad financial advice, bad financial literacy. So this is why this is so important. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, if you learn if you learn it, you'll be fine. So be lit. Oh, hey, welcome. Came from Isaiah's condo tour. Welcome to the channel. Ceta says, I'm thankful I'm done with the workplace politics. It was mentally draining. Absolutely 100%. Don't ever feel bad about working ever. Yeah, no, I don't hate work. I don't hate work. And I don't think I've always said this. I never hated working. I just hated, I hated the stuff that was happening, right? I hated what was happening to me. Not to make this like a victimhood type of deal, but I just didn't like what I was becoming. Like, I was losing my health. I couldn't even, man, it's just, I can go on and on about this, but this is not what this live is about. Let's see what else. Retiring Dividend says, I drive 1 hour to get to work, but I make use of it recording YouTube videos. See, that's smart, man. That's smart. Absolutely. That's what I would do. Yeah, that's what you should do. Like you can be productive on those long, rides to work or not. And I mean, I went through probably hundreds of Audible books, if not YouTube videos, just going through traffic. So I definitely agree with that 100%. I always say that I went to YouTube University because that's what helped me get a lot of my financial kind of literacy started. So I have thousands of freaking hours like sunk into that. Let's see what else we got. Bria asked, what advice would you give to someone who is a beginner at investing and doesn't have a lot of money? What's awesome is that there's so many people in this chat that can absolutely answer that. The cookie cutter answer is, yeah, open up a brokerage. Doesn't matter who. I mean, you're obviously going to want to go with the best one. I always recommend M1 Finance. I know there's probably others who might recommend Fidelity or Vanguard or Schwab. There's also Robinhood. But you can open up a brokerage of your choice and you're going to sink your money into something as simple as an S&P 500, right? VOO. That's the ticker. That's the money. This is not financial advice, but if you had to start somewhere, I would always recommend VOO. It's the S&P 500. It has 500. It's a basket of 500 companies. So you don't have to pick and choose the winners or the losers, right? It's going to self-cleanse. So if there are losers, they will kick out the losers and replace them with new winners automatically. You're going to go with something with a low expense ratio, meaning that, this is the fee you'll have to pay for owning that investment. And you dollar cost average to victory, right? You S&P and chill. You just, every time you get paid, you throw a little bit of money in there and you call it a day, right? This is the easiest, surest, simplest way to build wealth. Retiring Dividend says, the best time to start, Bria, you don't want to be a beginner with a lot of money. It's better to learn when you have less money. This is facts right here. This is 100% facts right here. So there's there's a there's a person I speak to, and he basically consults with like business owners and things like that. And there are people who approach him and they have like $1 million, like 2-3 million dollars, maybe $500,000. Like these people approach him and they have all this money, but when he really consults with them and talks to them, he finds out that they are not all there, that they don't know anything. And then he's asking, how did you come across all this money? And usually it's an inheritance, right? Usually it's some type of inheritance, or money was given to them in some way, shape, or form, and they don't know anything, right? And they're talking about dumping it in. I heard this crypto coin was really good. I just did a video on Donald Trump stock, right? I heard DJT is going to be a really good stock. I heard Trump meme coin is going to be a really good coin, right? And they drop all this money in there, and then they inevitably lose it all, right? There's that saying out there that usually it's the second generation or the first generation that ends up losing all the wealth, right? Because they're financially illiterate, they don't know anything. And that is so true. Like that is so true. That rings true. Let's see. Retirement Dividend says, commuting is the best time to learn about investing. That's how I learned, 100%. Bria says, great advice. I actually have worked with Fidelity with my old job. I used to invest with Fidelity. I had my brokerage with them. I ended up moving off that platform into M1 Finance only because at the time, Fidelity did not offer fractional shares, but now they do. And I would have stayed with Fidelity if they offered fractional shares, 100%. Far Out Alien says, listen to financial podcasts for years driving around doing home service work. Yep. Bria says, just because you have money doesn't mean you have financial intelligence. I would hate to lose my family's wealth by investing ignorantly. Yep. And that happens quite a bit. Like a lot of people just throw their money into some article that they've read or some influencer they've been following for a while. Oh yeah, this coin's going to go up, go crazy. And then they end up losing their money. Like it happens more than you guys think. And it's really, really sad and pathetic. Like from 2022 all the way to 2024, okay, mid 2024, think about this. How much news did you hear about crypto? How many new coins came out for crypto? Not a whole lot. There was almost no YouTuber talking about crypto, really. Like everyone moved on. It's funny to see the evolution, like seeing it from my point of view. Everyone's about crypto. And then when crypto's out of favor, they run out of content, they run out of scams, then they move on to dividend investing, right? And then from dividend investing, then they go into momentum stocks, and then they go into futures contracts, and then they go into, right? It's just, they're always like hopping around, right? And it pisses me off because the whole time they never mastered anything. They're just giving you really surface level stuff, and people are listening to them, and they end up losing a ton of money. So that's what just really irks the living hell out of me. So yeah, I mean, like if I had $1 million, if I really had, like if someone handed me $1 million today with everything I know, I would definitely be diversified 100%. I'd put 500K immediately into VU, like without even second guessing. Maybe I might even do 40K to VU, right? Or 400,000, and then put 10,000 into something a little more risky, a little more higher risk, like VGT or maybe a tech focused ETF, and then the rest is all in Misty. No, I'm just kidding. Then I would do probably like, I don't know, 100,000 to Misty, 100,000 to crypto, like a Bitcoin, maybe a Bitcoin ETF, another 100,000 to some, dividend paying something. And then like, I don't know, the rest I would just kind of like sprinkle it around. But yeah, like if I had $1 million, that's what I would honestly do, because you can't go wrong with an S&P 500. There's no way to go wrong with it. It just goes up. Will there be times where it goes down? Yeah. Will there be corrections? Sure. Will there be some crisis that makes the stock market go down substantially, like it did earlier this week? Yeah. Things will happen, but it always trends up. Speaking of that, speaking of VU, let's just take a look at it. Like if we look back, I mean, this was let's see, this was COVID, right? This is where I lost I think like 30 to 40% of my net worth overnight. Like I was like, holy crap, like this was scary, right? But I kept buying more and more and more. And then within like a year it recovered, right? Yeah, so within the same year it recovered, and then everything after that was pure profit, right? Had a 36% return, then it dipped, but if you keep buying, it's only going to go up. Right? So people never zoom out. They usually do this crap. Oh, this is scary. I better sell out. This is not good. But if you zoom out, again, the story changes when you zoom out. All right? Excuse me. Far Out Alien says so many people get conned out of their money when they cash out. That's 100% facts. One country in Florida, 9 out of 10 calls to the local sheriff's office are financial scams. Florida, I feel so bad for people who live in Florida. Florida is not even a real place. Like that place doesn't really exist, but yeah, like especially the older people, man, they get scammed so bad, and it's pretty sad. Actually, there was, and especially with the adoption of AI, not to make this a conversation about AI, there was an article that came out, and this lady, she got scammed out of like all her money because she thought she was talking to Brad Pitt, right? Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can find that article for you guys. But this one was really sad. Oh yeah. Here it is. Okay, this is sad. This is real sad. All right. So a woman was conned out of $855,000 by AI generated Brad Pitt. Okay. So this is the thing. She got divorced, so she got half her money from the divorce, right? And of course, she's an older lady. She probably felt lonely, and then she's talking to like someone who she thought was Brad Pitt, and the AI generation looked legit. Like it did look pretty good, right? So a French woman who thought she was in a romantic relationship with Hollywood star Brad Pitt handed over 830,000 euros, $855,000 to scammers as part of an elaborate year-long con that involved an AI-generated version of the Moneyball actor. Wow. Wow. Holy hell, that is crazy. I wish they showed the pictures, but yeah, like this actually happened, right? This actually happens, and this is basically the same stuff that happens in Florida all the time. Like this happens all the time. P My, what's up? Hey, welcome back. So Bria says another lady was conned by an AI Elon. Oh my god. Oh my god. Let's see if we can find that article. AI Elon cons woman. Oh no. Oh no. Sweet talking Elon Musk impersonator cons South Korean woman out of $50,000 with the promises of wealth. Oh no. Impersonator shares details of Musk's family activities, convinces woman. Scammer also expresses affection for saying, "Hello, I love you." Do you know that? Oh no, that is so sad. That is so sad. Oh, that is so sad. You see, but it's crap like this that happens all the time. Like it happens all the time, and it's so sad. It's just really sad. Yeah, this is why financial literacy and seeing a con from a mile away. They're getting better though. They are getting better. There was one that almost got me, but I was careful about. I knew it was weird, but they were like really like almost on par with Microsoft. So I got this email, and it didn't go to my spam, right? And it looked just like the actual email Microsoft sends you, right? Saying that someone's trying to break into your account. And IT by trade, so I already know like, oh, okay, this could be fake, right? But I'm looking at it, I'm like, wait, this looks legit, right? I'm looking at it, I'm reading the email that it's coming from, and it's coming from like the on Microsoft whatever, and I'm looking through everything. And I go into my email account and I check, and there's like 1,000 freaking login attempts. And I'm like, holy crap, like someone's really trying to break into my email. Right. And I'm like, but I don't think like this email should not have been generated. So I go back into the email and I'm looking at the actual email address very carefully. And I see that they replaced like a O with a zero. Like that's how I was able to find it, right? They replaced it. They're getting better because had I clicked that link, they would have probably asked me to reset my password or something, or they would have probably, I don't know, they install some malware on my phone. I have no idea. But yeah, they're getting better. They are getting a lot better. Far Out Alien says being conned out of your retirement is a real thing. It's horrible. Yeah, that would be super sad. That would be so sad. Yeah, that would be horrible. Well, everybody, we are at the top of the hour. I have to get my day started. Unless anybody has anything, any topics they want to talk about, anything at all, before I cut the stream, happy to keep it going. But I'm out of things to talk about. All right. Well, um, cool. Well, I don't see anything, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, guys. But I appreciate you guys joining as always. You guys are always a great time. Um, Again, I appreciate you guys joining the stream. It's always fun when you guys join, and I hope you guys got some value from this stream, and definitely something you can take back with you. So, without that, I will see you guys in the next stream tomorrow, same time. All right, everybody have a great night and take care and avoid the scammers. All right, avoid the scammers. All right. Hey, appreciate you, Sita. Appreciate you, Bree. G Bro, thanks, and yeah, appreciate you too, man. All right, take care, everybody.